Hi, guys. Welcome back to The Worthwhile Woman. I am your host, Z.
And I am Chris. And
Today's topic, sticking to our relationship topic, the subtopic is going to be attachment styles in relationships. So, how I came across this, I was watching a reality. It's on YouTube though, but it was a reality show. And on one of the episodes, they basically had psychologist or life coach come through, and she brought up the topic of attachment styles, and I was like, what is an attachment style? So I wrote it down because obviously I am not a psychologist, therapist, or life coach. So basically, attachment styles are emotional patterns formed in early life that influence how people connect, communicate, trust, and handle conflicts in adult relationships. And there's 4 attachment styles. I think, okay, when I was going through the comments on that video, apparently there's more than 4. She basically only discussed 4 attachment styles. So I think there's like 4 main ones. And then there's some that basically have a bit of a mix. So we'll stick to the 4. The first one is secure attachment, right? And these are just like basic side points in the attachment style. So basically it means comfortable with intimacy and independence, communicates needs clearly, handles conflict without panic or shutdown, doesn't interpret space as rejection, and builds emotional safety. So, for this one, I'm going to ask you, what does emotional safety feel like to you?
I mean, for me, emotional safety is like just being able to be yourself and not having to put on like some sort of show or like, when you must think, I need to be a better person now.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously you have to have some sort of like, I guess, filter in things, but just like being yourself and not being worried about if something you do or say or whatever is just gonna end up in flames for you. So yeah. And you?
I feel like you can be in tune with your emotions and feel safe to like share it without other person without sort of like feeling judged or being like, really, is that how you feel? You know what I'm saying? To, in a sense, like you're saying, where you have to hide it from the other person.
One of the things you said there was your attachment styles obviously are formed in childhood.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna let's take it a step back and look at our childhood, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to really say like the attachment style I had in my childhood is completely different to how I am now. But like if I look back, I was a mess. Like I'm just thinking like, okay, secure attachment style is obviously the better of them, right?
I would think that's quite, in my head, secure is ideal.
Yeah, it's the ideal one, but like we obviously gonna go through the other ones. But if we just look at our attachment styles, we won't go into them too deep,
yeah.
But you have the anxious attachment style, which obviously it says it for itself. Anxious. You anxious. You constantly asking yourself, like, the first one, you comfortable with space. The second one, you're not. Like anxious means like space means something is wrong.
Yeah.
And then if we go to avoidant, we know avoidance, like we know some avoidant people, they do not want to rely on anybody, don't want your help. Like avoidant is obviously the opposite of both of them.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not like you're not secure, you're not on the other edge, you like none of the above.
Just ignore everything and avoid it.
Yeah. And then you have like I think fearful, right? So you want closeness, but don't feel safe in it. That's a weird
one. Yeah, I was literally about to say,
I want
why
you,
do you want
but I
it?
don't
But
trust what happens if I let you in.
so that's a little bit chaotic because now I'm confused as to what do we want. I don't relate to the fearful one because I'm confused as to what.
I think that one can be formed, but I wanted to say now that we just touched here, what do you think you were in your childhood?
Ooh, I think I'm still a bit of a mix though. I think I'm a little bit secure, but I think I can be anxious as well.
Weird. I think and I'm talking about, remember, childhood.
Yeah.
Childhood. So like, I think in your childhood, and me experiencing you, I think you were definitely a secure.
Is it?
Because you were somebody that, like, if you hear, you hear. But if you're not, I don't care.
I'm okay with it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I think I was very anxious because for me, I gauged our relationship, let's just say, based off how much closeness we had.
Oh,
so
I see.
I always bring up this thing, but one time we had a diary, right? We had a diary. Mind you, there could not be anything that, I don't know, we were not even in high school, I think, at this point, but she had a diary. And I think it was more like a prayer journal than anything. But one day we were cleaning out her stuff because me, as like the mother person, would come over to Z's house and be like, yo girl, like, let's change your room.
Fix some stuff.
Let's change this. Let's do whatever.
Also, we were bored, so that's all we could do.
I'm trying to think, like, we were still playing with dolls at that time. But anyway, we were busy cleaning and I found this box. And in this box, Z had like a diary or whatever. And I was like, I had a flashback of a memory now. But hopefully I don't forget it. But basically, I now wanted to read the journal or whatever. And Z was like, nope, no, I don't want you to read it or whatever. Obviously for her personal reasons. I don't know. But one day I eventually read that thing years later and I was like,
there's nothing much in here.
Really? I was upset. Like, I was angry. Me and Z weren't speaking to each other. I think that was the only like fight we've ever had. And I didn't want to play with her or whatever the case is. But now we were together for the holiday. So
we had to make up eventually.
Yeah, so a few hours later, I think I just told myself, get over it. And Z was also that person that was like,
okay,
whatever. But I think the reason that thing, I don't know if you even remember these, but I think the reason that thing got to me is because Z used to come over.
Yeah.
And I used to give her my diary to read.
Really?
I forgot about that. Like, literally, it came to my mind as I brought that up. But I used to be like, girl, just read here so you can see what happened on this day or whatever. And then I think Z used to read it. It was almost like me giving her an update. You know when you like read the chat?
Like, guess what? Yeah.
Then I'd be like, read my diary, whatever. I forgot about that.
That's why you were touched when I...
Totally forgot about that in my head. But that brought it up right now. That was gone for years. It came back today. And I think that's why... Yes, I got upset about that situation, but I was very anxious. Like, if somebody drew back, it meant something.
Yeah.
So distance was a problem for me. Z would know. Like, if I went to have a sleepover by a cousin or auntie or whatever, I would not want to come back home.
Oh, yes. You would not do well at all.
I would literally have breakdowns. Shambles. Like, my mother used to say, I'm no more sending you to... like your godmother or your cousins or whatever the case is, because every time it's time for you to come home, you are broken. And then it would take me these times.
So real.
Yeah, it would take me like weeks to recover from like just not having them around. And I'd message him the whole time and I'd be like, I miss you and whatever. And I think it became even, I think I used to make people anxious even to come and fetch me because they knew afterwards.
When you leave, it's going down.
Yeah. Mind you, my child has this problem now.
I wonder where he gets it from.
Yes. So I feel like I was really anxious. Like, and I don't know what like caused me to be anxious.
That's so real, because what do you think in your childhood caused you to be so
I don't know. And I tried
attached to people.
Yes, I tried. And the thing is, the attachment wasn't a healthy attachment because I've also spoke to Z. Obviously, I've spoke to Z about this, but like I get attached to like my teachers, and like the way I would think it is that the house was almost cleansed out. But I'd gift my teachers things, you know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to maintain closeness and like favor. And I'm also wondering now why these teachers didn't return back to sender.
Yes, because usually a parent teacher would be like, I'm getting some random stuff. I know for sure I wouldn't give a person permission to take my new china out the house. What's going on?
Yes. So I feel like I had a serious and unhealthy anxious attachment in my childhood
to people.
Yeah, to people, and people that like obviously I love. And I think that anxious attachment like easily went into my first few relationships.
No, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. But I'm trying to figure out, like, was it the validation from, was it maybe like attention that you were getting, that you yourself were like, yes, this is what I feel like I'm lacking.
I think maybe I obviously lack something.
Yeah.
What exactly I lacked, I don't know. All I know is like when I looked back on things, I knew that I definitely had some sort of attachment problem to obviously like close people. I don't know if I ever cried with you though.
No, that's how I was saying, we never ever
we
cried.
were the people that spent the most time. Okay, we didn't.
Okay, yeah.
We didn't. So I think when we were younger, it was very regulated. Because we would only see each other on weekends, the
parties were quite frequent.
Holidays.
After church.
Let me tell you how I know Z was a what do you call this? A secure. The party would be going and she'd sleep. Like Z.
Guys, do you know the FOMO that I have now? Then I didn't have FOMO. I was like, listen, pack me up, put me on the bed. I'm out. I'm going to catch it when I see it. Now I'm like, things were happening and I'm a soul bus.
Yeah, Z was somebody that just like, it never bothered her to be around things. And I was the person that wanted to be involved in everything. And, you know, or whatever. I don't know if that's part of attachment, but I'm just thinking like, you know, yeah, like if I look at your personality as a like when you were young.
Yeah.
I was always like, yeah, no, me and you, we two different people. But anyway, here we are. Because I'm here trying to wake up, see, go.
You're messing up.
She'd turn around and go sleep. She was not bothered whatsoever, you know. And I think I used to get offended by that.
Really?
Like that's how I'm like I used to get so upset. Like how dare she come to this house? Sleep. Why didn't she go home?
Vibrant. But guys, can we please remember these parties were starting like afternoon, right? I would now give up at 10 o'clock because I don't
even think around 10 o'clock. I think before the party even started, you were sleeping. I know the one time you went out though. Like y'all went to like I think Warm Baths or something. And then came back, and I think on the way back
2. We didn't make it far.
You didn't make it far. Now I'm like, okay, so you went to Warm Baths, and it's my problem.
It's my turn now.
Now I'm alone at the party because you sleeping. Like, yeah, anyway, we going off the topic. But yes, I think for me, anxious, all I can say is anxious. Because it was uncomfortably anxious. For not only me, but other people around me.
In fear that you would break down when they leave.
Yeah.
When they leave. Oh.
And I think the one thing that actually broke my teacher, like I think anxious attachment was, one day I had to write my mother a list of all the things that went missing out the house. Girl, that list was long.
It's the fact that they weren't noticing, hey man, where's these things? Also, please note that Spunky okay, he's not giving it to any of the teens, but things are going missing.
Yeah. And I think the thing that actually pushed me from that anxious attachment was one day I tried to say another teacher. I remember she was my math teacher, and I was failing math miserably. And I got a chocolate and like this pottery thing. And she's like, thanks for the chocolate and thank you for the pottery, but I don't need gifts. I need you to give me good marks. Never again.
Shattered.
Never again.
Absolutely shattered. You said you're ungrateful.
Yes.
Woman.
So
yeah, as I'm looking at anxious, because we're trying to figure out why. Even though I feel like I can also dabble in the anxious, it's fear of abandonment. There's a high need of reassurance, fear, overthinking, text, tone, distance, everything. Hyper awareness of relationship changes may confuse intensity with love. And common behaviors. You have difficulty with uncertainty. Where do I stand? What's happening? Where are we going? Seeking validation. To which I think, okay, the seeking validation part, it's a tough one because, like, I would like some reassurance in a relationship. But where do you draw the line?
What is this?
This is under anxious.
Yeah, most likely to be love bombed. So that way I said you misunderstand intensity for love.
Yeah.
Just because somebody is doing something consistently, or
you think you are in it to win it.
You think you're in it to win it, or like somebody like does something consistently for a short amount of time, and then it's like, oh, this person is all for me.
Meanwhile, so for me, I do think here's a question. Have you ever felt too much in a relationship?
Yeah. But I think also it comes with now Z hasn't got many relationships. Yeah. Probably one
between. The others I don't think you can count because those were.
I just remembered, that I was in love with the that loved Britney Spears.
And the denial. That's No, we questioned it though. We questioned the minute we heard about it. We were like, I almost said the name. I almost said the name.
Like I had a flashback to that. I'm like, when I was doing
I was concerned.
Stuff, I was like,
because the sound also was from those.
I was buying Britney Spears CDs.
You that knew one Britney song, girl.
All of a sudden, and I think that also goes with it, right? You want to be liked.
Yeah. So
you're going to do anything to keep that person close. So even though like the things is like, okay, this doesn't make sense. You still like,
oh my gosh.
You still like, okay, but anyway, I don't want you to like, because obviously there's the distance now. If I'm like, okay, no, that's weird. Now I've lost something. So I used to do a lot of things to keep connection. Overextending yourself so that you can keep that connection close.
I feel like surely people used to do that. Like as a child, guys, you can't tell me you didn't even pretend to like something. That you knew the person you had a crush on liked.
Yeah.
You can't tell me all of a sudden you weren't like, well, I also eat that chocolate. Yeah. That's my favorite. Meanwhile.
Yeah, I think also, a lot of things I did before that I was like, I actually don't even like this. Now, why? Now, there's one thing to compromise.
Yes.
Or not compromise.
Like, I'll try.
Accommodate.
Yeah.
So, maybe you're not somebody that likes a certain thing, but because it's your man and your man, like,
then you'll
try and be like, okay, I'll try it out or whatever. But, like, to say, like, you like something that you don't like because you're trying to hold on to what you think is the only thing,
guys.
And that thing
so
gets
crazy. Because like I feel like we all done that.
I also think you're anxious, and first another thing is like your anxious attachment, right, can show up by trying to be somebody for that person that you're not, right?
I firmly
And I was
agree.
like, yeah, no. I'm just like, I think I was a lot of that, like, and
which I think comes from the seeking the validation.
the validation.
In your mind, you really do think that if I like the same things that you like, you'll sort of
or
like
do
me.
the things that you like.
And in real life, actually, you realize most of your relationships, like if you look at the relationships you don't choose, your parents or your siblings or your cousins, y'all can be completely different. Y'all can like completely different stuff, and that's still your person where you like, I still love you, I'm still here for you, I'll still rock with you no matter what. Yet for other people, you like,
I think more for like romantic. I've also seen sometimes friendship, people act different all of a sudden when their friends around. Now I'm like, oh,
since when do you
when you're doing this thing here?
To us, you don't do that.
For us, you're very different. So I also think your attachment styles can change depending on the relationship,
I fully agree with that, because I also think, and I'm sure you can also look back at your relationships and see, with one person, yes, you could be like, oh, I feel secure enough because that person will validate, that person will message, that person will, give you the stuff that you need to where you like, emotionally, I feel safe.
Yeah.
So now I go from anxious to secure, whereas somebody else could just trigger you in a sense of you don't get the validation or the reassurance, you don't get the constant communication, the person may be lying or just not clear about certain things, and then all of a sudden you're switching to, okay, I don't know where I stand. Yes. And that scares me.
Yeah. I've also seen, like, the thing of like the switch where you might have been a secure person, but all of a sudden now, like you're saying, the wrong person comes around and it triggers something that wasn't there or you weren't aware of before. So yeah, I think to change your attachment style, you have to become aware of it.
Yeah.
If you're not aware of it, like, you just know the people who have stayed in certain situations and you're just like, why
are you there?
And I think it's because you're just not aware of the fact that, okay, and it can be different things. It doesn't need to be an attachment style, it can just be just the way you operate in relationship is just
not the right way.
Yeah.
Which is fair, because like you're saying, a lot of people, you always think that, this person treats you bad or whatever, why are you there? Most people are like, you're getting nothing from it. It's because that person there is getting something that maybe you don't see.
Value.
Yeah.
So maybe it's the fact that they validate something about them.
Exactly.
That for you doesn't matter. Like,
yes.
Oh yeah, that's actually true. I didn't think of it that way. Like I was thinking, like, sometimes, and then I think happens a lot of the times in friendship, and I think just with I don't want to say friendship, but people that you love and you care for, because it can extend beyond. It can be your sister, your brother, whatever. But I think when we look at people in relationship, and we can look at people in relationship and be like, girl,
what are you doing?
What are you doing there?
Yes.
But it's true that depending on what type of attachment style they might have, they might be receiving something that you can't see most of the times. And I think we look at the physical things a lot of the times, like, oh, what can we physically see that you getting in a relationship? But most of the times, it's not physical.
It's that emotional side that, and it may be very chaotic from your side, but something is getting fulfilled in there. May not be sufficient, but something's getting fulfilled there.
Yeah.
Sure. That's crazy. Let's have a look at our other attachment style here. Oh, actually, what do you think for yourself triggers relationship anxiety?
Instability. Like, please make up your mind. Can we make up our minds, please, before you even getting a relationship? Make up your mind that if I'm getting into a relationship requires effort. It requires a lot of things. And I think, again, didn't always know this. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I think, like, we at the stage now where it's like, you know what a relationship entails.
Yeah.
Like, don't
Let's
come
stick
tell
to
me
it.
you didn't expect this, you didn't think this, you like, you know what a
Be
relationship
stable.
entails. Like,
Show up.
let's do the real thing if you want to be in a relationship. Like, show up, do what needs to be done, understand that it's an effort. This is not a breeze. And I
Yeah.
think a lot of the times, yes, maybe in our 20s, or, and again, I'm not saying people who are in their 20s don't take their relationship seriously, because we know
Yeah.
people who got married in their 20s and are still together
Yeah.
and fine. But I think the thing is,
As we get older.
as you get older, you learn, you're supposed to become more wiser or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think, like, relationships just aren't there for fun anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
We're
now
supposed
you
to know where we're
yes,
going.
like, now we here to, like, we understand that I
Yeah.
am choosing you, and let's grow together and look at whatever that's gonna be like.
Yeah,
So,
you should know what you. I definitely agree with you, because, like you're saying, early 20s, a lot of people, yes, in high school, not all. A lot of people, you don't really know. It's not that serious. Some, yes, are serious. When you get into your 20s, you're figuring it out. Like, okay, what do I want? Who do I like? What do I like? What do I want? Where do I want to go? Now, as we're getting old, when we're hitting 30s, let's have an idea put down. We're not exploring still to figure out.
And I mean, fine, everybody, and again, everybody has their relationship thing, but, like, I just think sometimes it's not even about the other thing. It's just about understanding what that thing is that you want, and it's like, okay, you're gonna go apply for this job. Let's just say people look at a job and they see money.
Yeah,
that's the nice thing about it. But then the description has a whole lot of things that you're gonna have to do to get paid that amount of money, right? Qualification, this, that, or whatever. A lot of people apply for the job. Then when you're in the job,
you're like, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But sir, it was in the description. I told you.
And I think when people look at relationship, they look at the lovey-dovey, the going on vacation, the nice things, but they don't see
the work.
To get a loving, good relationship, what work that actually entails.
Understanding, forgiving, talking.
Grace, you know my word.
Yes.
Grace. Like, forgiveness. Like, it's not about now, okay, I don't feel
we
like
laugh
it today.
Together. Okay, great. Because when it's good, it's good. Anyone can get through the good times.
Mm-hmm.
When it's tough, how are we handling this?
And now, if you're in the relationship with the wrong person who thought that they saw the money but they didn't look at the description, now all of a sudden you're shaking because, like, they're providing such instability. And I think as a woman, one of the things I was actually reading this week, it's a devotional by Pastor T.D. Jakes. I don't know if he is a doctor actually, but anyways, it's a devotional, and he was saying that God didn't bring Eve in when Adam came, right? He brought Eve in when Adam had the garden, everything was stable, he knew what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? He didn't just bring them together to figure it out. Okay,
be like, good luck.
We're doing the garden together. Yeah. And it's not about that. It's about the fact that a woman's nature needs stability. Yeah. And if a man is coming and bringing instability, it's not going to go well. That's my 2 cents that I learned this week.
That. I didn't even think about that
way before, but when I read that, I'm like, actually. And
this is why we crave.
It's not money. It's not about money.
Yeah.
Instability can be brought in a whole lot of different ways.
Emotional, physical, mental. Even just to have a plan of action.
That's stability. That is stability.
I need to know where we're going, when we're going, how we're going.
And we've heard about a lot of stories. I've also one thing I've started doing this year is actually listening to people who are married, who've been married, compared to listening to people who want to be married or speak about relationship and don't really know what that entails. But there's so many marriages where, like, men have spoken about, and more also listening more about men's experience than women's experience, right? And men speak about the fact, like, I didn't have money, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, and my wife stood by me and whatever. And I think to myself, Yeah, because you provided stability. Because look where you are now. Obviously, these men are men that now are on the other side of that.
Yeah.
Right. But they were just saying, like, if it wasn't for this woman, like,
I
how was
wouldn't
I
have
gonna
gotten to.
how was I gonna do that? But he provided her with something of stability.
Yeah.
That didn't make her avoidant or flee the scene. Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting, actually.
So yeah, anyways, that was not 2 cents. Sorry, we also went off there.
As we usually do. Okay, so that was our anxious attachment. Avoidant attachment. Nah, I don't think I could do well, but let's get into it. They value independence above vulnerability. They pull away during emotional closeness. They have difficulty expressing their feelings and they may minimize emotional needs. Can appear emotionally unavailable. I will not. I think if I was with an avoidant, I would become anxious. Because when
I mean, if you just want to gauge, like, if someone's gonna ghost you, yeah, there's the thing there. That is exactly like the things that I just know. Like that is it. Like a ghoster is an avoidant.
Plain down, and I don't do well with that, because you must remember, let's say conflict arises. Most likely, they are running out of here. And I need to know what's happening. Why are we fighting? Let's solve this. Don't run away.
Yes. I think the most anxious I've been in relationship has been because of somebody avoiding.
Yeah.
And now what happens if you are anxious? Oh.
You're already overthinking.
Recipe for disaster, girl. You will go over and beyond to do things that you shouldn't be doing for that person.
Yeah.
So I
just to get a reaction.
Yes, just to kind of like things. Like I remember like being with like an avoidant or whatever. Like, you know, and sometimes having to reel you in. Let's drive to Timbuktu. Let's go see if we'll walk past the person.
Alive.
You know what I'm saying? Like I started like, you start thinking about the craziest things to do when you like with an avoidant, because like I've just known, like, no, if you're an avoidant,
I don't think. But you know what?
I think also within these attachment styles, there's degrees.
Yeah.
Like you have an avoidant that's like, okay, it's an avoidant. They just need to be tagged along a bit. You know?
Then eventually
we care
they
about
get
you,
to
whatever. You need to like speak them out. But there's some avoidants who are detrimental to you, where they are willing to do anything to make sure they're safe.
Yeah.
At the expense of you.
To which I think a lot of these, if I think about the attachment styles, a lot of people end up getting into this is because of your childhood. And if we have to take it all the way back, most of people's childhood, your first idea, your first view of love and life is your parents. Or whoever helped grow you up, whether it was your granny or your... So if you've been hurt at that point or didn't get what you need, that immediately sets up your worldview of how people are going to be towards you. Because you're thinking, okay, if my parents or whoever guardian done this to me, what are other people going to do?
I also think you can sometimes take on an attachment style.
Ooh.
So like, for example, if you live around like for example, my mother's attachment style has changed also. She was an avoidant.
Oh, definitely.
I think like our parents from Z's father, my mother, they siblings, they definitely learned how to be avoidant, and I saw it even from my granny.
Yeah.
We didn't speak about emotional things, and like they've been through emotional things.
They've been through,
and then your mother on the
full
other
emotion.
End, full emotion, like girl, full emotion.
Yes.
So like I think like now you see your father's an avoidant, but your mother knows how to take it probably out of you, because she'll always be like, yeah, you know,
yes,
your uncle doesn't this, that, and the other. but she knows how to pull it out of him. So I think there is degrees, and there's certain people for those people. Are they for us? No.
Will we survive?
No.
No. Because like I said, I can switch. From secure. Now I'm lucky my chip is very secure also. So he doesn't trigger me in the sense where I will automatically be like, what's going on? Where do I stand? Overthinking, which I usually do.
Yo.
But yeah, no, avoidant fully, and I couldn't.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I think you then took on a bit of both with your parents.
Yeah.
And what do you think your mother is? Secure. Yeah, because secure means you're able to express your feelings. Like you feel safe to.
I think she could also switch between secure and anxious, but secure, yeah.
I think my father.
And dad
avoidant.
Ooh.
My father, I don't know what attachment style my father was, because I feel like he was independent.
Sure.
To the point that sometimes it might have been detrimental. And this is not to bash anybody or anything, but my mother was complete avoidant. I don't even need to.
No, that one you don't need to think about. That
but
one we knew.
She's come out of that a bit.
Oh, sure.
But yeah, I think we don't want to draw the line between like how people are emotionally, but like if we're looking at attachment styles, like my mother was an avoidant. Like the house could be on fire. It's okay.
Yeah. But your father, I wouldn't say avoidant, but would you say secure? He didn't come across as anxious either. What's the other one? Fearful.
Yeah, no.
Avoidant. Oh my gosh, I actually don't know where he falls.
I think he would be secure because he was somebody that could express. Comfortable with closeness, yes. Could communicate his needs, yes. Doesn't panic with distance or conflict. Can repair after arguments. You see, those were the two things that I feel. But these are not complete lists, right?
Yeah.
There's obviously things that were there.
I think he could fall under the secure.
Yeah. Because if you think of your mother and my father, they have similar personalities.
Yeah. I feel like, probably. Oh, look at us with our secure avoidance.
Which, to one, it didn't work out. So I think you've also got to think, to one, it didn't work out. And I just remember, like, some of those situations, like, obviously, you maybe see your parents are not on good terms or whatever. I could see, like, my father trying to pull all the effort out of my mother. Like, and my mother was not just happening. Like,
but I think do you think it was like, I feel like because from Oma's side, it just feels like, I don't know if they express love.
No, so I think when I spoke to my mother, she told me like when they grew up, that thing of like closeness with you, love you. That was not a thing. Yeah, that was
and
not
I think that's why they struggled to, like, to be honest, like we know our parents love us, né? But they won't say like, express it. But action-wise, you'll know it. I just don't think they know how to. Or it feels weird or awkward for them to say.
I think, my mother was like that. But now, no, I think she's different. She's very expressive about what she's happy about. And,
which just shows you how certain people can really pull you to the opposite extreme. Yeah. Not to say people are bad, but maybe together we don't do well.
Yeah. Anyway, we went down another road.
Another path there. Where were we? Sorry,
we were by avoidant. They may feel smothered in relationships easily.
Who's this avoidant?
That's probably your long distance people.
I think so. But then again, because, we had a friend that would not do well with clinginess. Like, loved distance to maximum. To the point where we even thought, like, this person will not survive in a relationship where they have to stay together, live, because it's too close. And honestly, when they met the right person, they were able to do that, and you're like, what?
Yeah, and get married to the person.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, so you just have to know who is your person, and like I say, they're getting something from that person you cannot physically see.
Yeah.
So that's something that I think important. It's not to say if you any of these things you're wrong, you're not the right one. It's just that obviously it might be more difficult when it comes to relationships. I also think that yes, you might have a certain attachment style. Once you're aware of it, you can navigate it. But if your attachment style, one is hurting you and hurting others, then that is not a good thing. Like, I don't think like my mother's avoidance attachment style hurt me.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I was anxious in my childhood.
I was gonna say, perhaps.
But I also don't feel like I felt like my mother doesn't love me.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the situation was I have to work. And so my father filled that place. Like me, like our relationship with my father was like super close. And, you know, before you realize what's real in this world. But like, other than that, my father is expressive and stuff like that. I just didn't feel safe with my father in the sense that he was very temperamental.
Oh,
so like switch. It's like, oh, okay, we're having a good time, and then it's like, no, now
I'm angry.
So I think that instability might have made me anxious also. Not that he was angry or anything, but let's say he wasn't consistent.
Yeah.
And I think consistency and stability, I feel like I struggled with my father. I think I struggled.
And as a child, it can be very... Especially, I think, because as a child, you don't really understand. Like, now when you look at it, you can be like, I get it. But back then, you're like, why is everyone acting like... Because in our world, what do you know? It's all nice time.
So those things might have been triggers, but yes. Anyways, I was saying that's the long distance person. But so, yeah. I think just be sure that your attachment or how... Not that I feel like you should be attached to anything, but like your attachment style shouldn't be hurting you or hurting the other person.
I actually have a question, you know, actually, like now that I'm saying it, because what came across my mind was this reel I watched the other day. And this person was basically saying, do you really think someone can pull something out of you that isn't already there? They basically testing you. And I was like, actually, if I do think about it, because you know how we say like, okay, when you're with this kind of person brings out this side of you. And now what this person is saying, yeah, but they can't bring out something that isn't already there. And I was like, oh, okay, that's deep.
Yeah, like for me now, I'm like, I know that the crazy person is not in you. Like I just know it's not there. Like I'm not gonna be like, I've never seen you go crazy.
Yeah,
you know. Me on the other hand, it just takes the wrong person to make me go crazy. Which I don't know now that I'm a new person in Christ. Maybe that is gone. Because I haven't had an incident where I've had to be crazy or like I didn't think of my actions or whatever the case is. But before, oh no, girl, quick, let's
switch those gears.
I will fly. And this is not a woman. This is not even like woman to like relationship wise. Like just like, whew, yeah, angry. I could scream and swear and whatever. But like, thank God that it's not me anymore. And I think sometimes, like it's a thing of those incidents now show me that I had that thing in me and I needed to deal with it.
So I
think you can suppress your actions. You can be angry, but you can suppress your actions.
Again,
you know,
until I get to that limit. But I haven't been pushed to that limit, thank the Lord, and I would like not to find out what I look like from that point.
You know,
so there is hope. There's hope.
Yeah, there's hope. So now I do think yes, certain people can pull something out of you, but they can't pull something that's not within you. It's like it's not possible.
It's there.
The other thing is, I always speak about the fact that we are sinful in nature. So it's not that some of us love with sin, some of us don't. And the best expression that I've heard of it, I don't know if I was explaining it to you, was like, if you're born Chinese, you cannot change the fact that you're Chinese.
Yeah.
Like you're going to be Chinese for your whole life. You can follow something else, but you are Chinese in essence. And I think when you are sinful in nature, like, if you haven't dealt with your sin and the ability to deal, which I think you've done well in terms of certain things, anger and stuff like that, then it's going to be easier for those sinful things to come out of you.
Yeah,
like,
fair.
we just, like, you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you watch these documentaries and you're like, how did that person kill this? This was a teacher. She was a nurse.
And all of a sudden.
It's just because that thing somebody triggered something that was that was there all the time.
Yeah.
So some people,
and they just didn't deal with that side.
Yeah, or that those things live within us. Some of us, those are just not things that we can comprehend ourselves doing. So we hope.
Please work on yourselves, guys, because like we say, everyone's capable.
Yeah.
Just don't do it
under the certain situations. Yeah. Yes, and I brought some to mind. So yes, what's next?
Let's see. Okay, the last one is fearful, avoidant, or disorganized attachment, which we said it's a lot of push-pull relationship dynamics. It's often linked to trauma or chaotic early experiences, can create intense emotional cycles. Come here, go away, which I'm thinking perhaps is that on and off relationships. That's what I can think of. Because
what was that called? Devon or what? What was that? It's
the manipulation thing.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it is.
Is it Devon or Dennis? The Dennis method.
Yeah.
So there's this thing called the Dennis method in relationship where basically, I don't know what the acronyms are.
Yeah.
But the Dennis method, which we actually didn't speak of it in this.
But we'll get into one of them again.
The Dennis method is basically where somebody kind of does their thing. They bring you in intensely, like love bomb you. You make you feel like the only person in the world, push you away, and then you think like, what did I do or whatever, and then they pull you back again, but they're not willing to provide you with stability, such as like a stable relationship. So I think that would definitely be like situationship. I'm not willing, like, so people that ghost you, come back, you come back, break up with you, come back.
Definitely fearful, avoidant.
Now that one there is detrimental to both ends.
That one I just don't. That to cause that much emotional turmoil for somebody is crazy to me. It's definitely, I think, manipulative. Although I don't think a lot of people may realize. I mean, like you were saying earlier, you do need to realize, self-reflect, and be like, okay, what am I? What triggers me? What causes me to want these things and stay in these certain positions in a relationship? But yeah.
I mean, it says like often linked with inconsistent and traumatic early experiences. So like, I mean, I can understand. It's almost like if you had like an abusive upbringing where like this is maybe your mother, so it's somebody that you have to love or somebody that you crave love from, but then they hurting you. So it's kind of like a push-pull type of relationship. And if that's how you view relationship, that's what you'll think love is.
Yeah.
Sometimes trauma, the way people are brought up is that like they think that trauma is the right.
Yeah, that's the way life
is supposed to be. I mean, you hear of lots of situations where people think like life is supposed to look like this, but only afterwards they realize
this is not healthy.
This is not actually how it is. I was brought up to think that that's how it is.
And that's
normal. I think a lot of like just again with childhood, if you taught to make something a certain way, that's the way you think that thing must be made.
You don't know of other ways.
Yes, you don't know of other ways, but only once you discover the other way are you like, oh,
this might be a little bit better than what I'm used to. Yeah. I think also maybe even relationships, or like you say, your parents, or if they used to being present and then going away and present and going away, that like can be a pattern for you that you end up repeating.
Mm.
Okay, but my mother or my father used to come in, and when things got hard,
They
left. I'll come back when things are better and calmer.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
So
what attachment style do you think you are now? At this current stage?
At this stage, I'm going to say secure.
Yeah.
And quite happy where I am secure, because it's tumultuous looking at the other things, and I don't think I'd be doing okay if I was in any other sort of relationship.
Yeah, and I mean, another thing is when you look at that last one, you can trauma bond over that. So you understand that so unhealthy attachment styles can cause trauma bonds where now like I said again, I wasn't a certain way, but because of something now I trauma bond with you because we can bond over the trauma.
Yeah. You get me.
I know that your parent left you and my parent, so we know that that's how love looks.
This is normal,
or whatever the case is. So we now created bonds based off trauma. So that's something important to think about. But yeah, I think for me, now I'm also secure.
Yeah.
I also think that, being a mother brought a lot of that. Like, you don't have time
to like,
we don't got time now to be, I have to be the stable person. And especially if it's not always the case. Not all mothers think that way. Not all parents think that way. But like, if you are a mother that wants stability for your child, you want your child to grow up as best as possible. And I think for me, with stability, because I am a single mother, it's like, if I'm not stable, and even in the relationships that I want to have or that I am having, how am I then supposed to portray that to my child?
Yeah,
because he needs to know that.
Yeah,
he needs to be secure in himself. Express yourself as much as possible, but all behaviors are not acceptable, but all feelings are. We love how you we understand how you feel, but the way you act, no.
Yeah.
The
feeling's valid.
Yes, the feeling's valid, but now when you're acting a certain way,
the behavior's
not. The behavior needs to match up with that. Yeah. So yeah.
But I think also another thing with you is, if I take it a year back, or you already started to realize that, okay, maybe this person is bringing out something that I don't like. Like, you're able to now to discern, okay, this, I don't like where this is going, but I'm going to remove myself because this is not what I need. So I think you're also able to discern that.
Yeah. This was a good chatty chat. I think it's going to end soon.
Yeah.
So we will see you for our next episode
on relationships.
Yes, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.